You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean. Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AfterBuzz TV's Bad Girls Club After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Bad Girls Club After Show.
Yeah, I'll show you. Do the pancake. Do the pancake.
And you do like the head.
And you gotta do the head too. You can do that dance to anything,
And then
by the way.
Siobhan.
Oh yeah. We'll do this in honor of Siobhan. But not as good.
What's up, guys? Bing is for doing. We're here doing another AfterBuzz after show for Bad Girls Club. We're season 11, episode 8. I can't believe it's been 8 episodes.
I know.
You'd think we would know because how so many damn girls I got coming in, but
it still feels really new.
Anything's better than the All-Star Battle, so that's why it feels like it's going fast, because it's like finally good episodes. I'm Stephanie Bauer, your host. We got Drea Renee.
What's up, everybody?
Now, Jesse's not here. Siobhan's not here. They're being bitches.
But we are here, so.
Yeah, Siobhan had jury duty, poor girl, and Jesse's in Boston doing some DJ gigs, looking up online, but I'm sure they're watching, so let's get right down to it.
Yes.
Last week, I totally forgot what happened last week, so I was glad they do the refresher. But
Yes.
Jazz seems annoyed by Shanae. And girl, you were not here last week, but as are all of us here at AfterBuzz. I'm so annoyed by her, and Jesse and Siobhan feel the same way, and a lot of our viewers based on their comments.
By Jazz?
No. Well, both, actually.
okay.
Funny you bring up Jazz. Shanae.
Oh, Shanae.
We're just like so over her.
Yeah, because I think she's acting as if she was there from the beginning. That she's just like one of the girls.
That's a good point, but I kind of forgot she wasn't there from the beginning until they brought it up at the end of this episode.
I remembered that she wasn't there from the beginning, because she just moved her stuff up there as if she was like, I've been here.
That's when she started to annoy me.
I mean, I get why she did that, because she probably felt like she was a part of, and everybody thinks she's in the circle, but she was moving a little too fast. And everyone was like, whoa, you better slow your roll, girl.
Yeah, and you know it was a big deal because they keep showing it on the rewind. Like today, they showed it again. All right, so we're annoyed with Shanae.
Yes.
Done. And Jazz was, I keep going back and forth with Jazz, and we were talking last week. We really liked Jazz in the beginning because she seemed like kind of sweet, and not that sweetness is something we want in a bad girl, really,
right?
But we just like kind of liked her. And then the last week's episode and the week before, we all of a sudden were seeing stuff we didn't really like about her. She was acting like kind of bitchy and just not so nice. And then back to this episode, I kind of liked her again. So I guess I'm on the fence.
You liked her again this episode?
I guess.
What?
I mean, a little bit.
I didn't like her last week, and I didn't like her this week either. I feel like she's doing the thing where somebody always has to take like the reins in the whole household. And I think that she's trying to take that position between her and Tiana, like trying to run the house. Because I mean, she was kind of in the background.
I
think that since she's been trying to start fights and no one's really like provoking her or like fighting back with her, she's trying to take her stance and make a statement. So I don't know. I kind of like her when she's a little more quiet.
Yeah, she was very vocal this week and last week too, and I think that's why it annoyed us last week. We were kind of like,
I mean, it's better than Stephanie, because I mean, I keep forgetting. Is it
who? What is her name? Stephanie? Who?
What's her exactly?
If she didn't have the same name as me,
I know, and I just for a second forgot. I thought it was wrong. I was like, wait, I'm talking about no, not you. Wait,
the girl that's on the show. She's
from
got
Connecticut.
dark hair, from Connecticut.
So beautiful, though. So beautiful. I just forget about her.
I don't know if you remember, but on the first episode, she was the one that was like pinpointed as the bad girl of the episode that we picked. We're like, Stephanie's gonna bring it, you know, she's our girl.
And all she brought this week was a face mask. Because her face broke out. I was like, oh, okay, well.
Because of the dirt.
Right.
Okay, so we didn't get to talk about it last week with you, but you mentioned it to me while we were watching the episode. You would have freaked out over the dirt and the makeup.
Are you kidding me? if I went on the Bad Girls Club and I assume these women have seen the show before they go on, I would lock up my makeup, lock up my shampoo, lock up all my stuff that I don't want anybody getting my
Yeah, like anything that has to do with your body, like like body wash, things like that, because they're putting like cooking oil in it.
And food, I would just buy everything every day. I don't know. I just couldn't do it.
I just wouldn't keep stuff in the house. I'd just be like, all right, I'm going to McDonald's.
Exactly.
Or something like that. Yeah, the food, makeup, and then also like personal stuff. Like we see them throw out stuffed animals or something. I would freak out.
I wouldn't tell anybody, oh, this is what my grandma gave you. There's only one of these in the family. It's like, you don't give information out like that.
Yeah.
But of all the seasons, the dirt's pretty bad.
The dirt was genius, though. That's what we were saying. It's bad, but it's genius.
When they watch that back, ooh, I know they're going to be hot.
Yeah, and they'll probably. I really hope that Bravo learned their lesson with All Stars and lets the girls finish at least almost all the episodes before filming the reunion, so at the reunion they'll know about the dirt and the makeup.
I wonder if there's any time the producers were like, "Hey, this prank is too far." For me, I would have thought the dirt.
No,
but I
they don't
guess
care about
not.
that. That's great.
Yeah.
It's TV magic.
Yeah, I guess
TV
so.
gold. I mean, there's some stuff, I guess, if it affected their health, but that just makes you break out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll get
and if
over
anything
it.
can affect your health, it's putting stuff in food.
Right.
But they might step in. Hey, if they can step in for a heel almost kicking someone in the eye
they
when
can
that
step in for
completely
some
wasn't
dirt,
even
yeah.
it was an accident. Okay.
Anyway, okay.
Let's get started with this episode. First, we start out with Jazz and Aundrea. Now we're getting, is it Andrea or Aundrea?
She goes by, since my name is Andrea, she goes by Andrea. Which is what I do not go by. That's why I go by Andrea.
See, y'all girls, you know if that's your name. So Andrea. Okay. So Andrea and Jazz are talking about the pool, and it's really random. Andrea's like, they're being nice, and she's like, if you go to the beach sometime, let me know. And Jazz is like, okay. It's kind of weird, but whatever. But Shanae noticed it and walks by and makes this little snide
What did she
comment.
say? Taking care of your girls?
She said, gotta take care of your girls.
Right. And Jazz goes, what'd you say?
Exactly.
And then she kept walking.
Yeah.
It was weird that they opened with that scene. I mean, because then all of a sudden, I mean, that always tends to happen. Somebody from the group and then the enemies will talk and everything.
Out by the pool during a cigarette break.
Exactly.
I think they were setting the tone for the episode, but I'll point out later, I think that was editing was a mess up.
Yes. That's what I was going to say.
You know the same thing I'm
That's what I was
talking
like,
about.
Yes, exactly.
But yeah, so I wrote down, I'm like, why is Jazz giving Andrea a second chance and not Janelle? Like, why Andrea and not Janelle? Like, they hated Andrea just as much as Janelle, so why are they kind of like giving her a second chance?
And she's the one who did all the stuff.
Exactly. Janelle didn't do anything
She
except
really
flip her hair.
Flip her hair and what? Oh, because she said, don't drink my juice. But she hasn't actually done anything to
Don't drink my juice.
I mean,
I would say the same thing.
And it's so funny because they're always like, oh, if you got something to say it, blah, 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 blah. It's like she is saying it. What's the problem?
Don't drink my juice.
Okay. And it wasn't even that big of a deal.
I know, it wasn't that big of a deal. So I don't get it. I mean, my theory still remains. Y'all probably going to think I'm crazy. As I think the other girls are jealous of her. I see pretty features in her. She has the skinny body, the big boobs, the long hair.
Have a skinny body, Stephanie. Girl, go. I'm telling you, she don't. Because when she was talking about Jazz, I was like, Janelle, girl, okay. Skinny legs, she has. Skinny legs.
And skinny little arms.
Yes. Yes,
Whatever.
yes, yes.
A part of me still thinks the girls are
jealous.
A little jealous.
I'm starting to think they are too, just a little bit. I didn't think so at first, but she's not doing anything.
I know, she's literally not doing anything, but that's what's making them even more mad.
Exactly.
So, all right. So I can see how this happens, and tell me if you think it's true. A girl comes in and like Andrea and helps Janelle, or just kind of like sticks with her. But she's getting bored, and she's like, I want to hang out with the other girls. And she's finally starting to wise up. If you can't beat them, join them. That statement is so true. If you can't beat them, join them and just join your enemies. And that's what she's doing. I kind of can't blame her. She's just ready to have some fun.
Right, because Janelle is, as much as I like Janelle, she is a tad boring, and she's not doing what she likes to sleep a lot with a full face of makeup on. I mean, I hope that's for TV, girl. But anyway, so I understand why Andrea, because she likes to get and I can't believe I'm saying this, turned up. Please don't ever, I hate that saying. Anyway, so she likes to do that, and Andrea or Janelle is just kind of chill and wants to have a few drinks and dance, but not like Andrea. I mean, she's nuts.
She's nuts, but she's the fun friend, and that's why they like her now.
I know.
Not even a fun, it's like the funny friend, the girl you just want to there to entertain you. Like, I don't really feel like exerting enough energy,
Andrea
so let's
will
just
take it.
watch you.
She will take it. She will
Yeah,
twerk.
but I mean, when it comes down to it, one of the girls is always going to leave the other one and join the other team because it's just easier.
Yeah.
If you can't beat them, join
Especially if
them.
you're living together every day and 5, not talking to one. It's just, it's easier that way.
Yeah, kind of can't blame her. All right. Now we get into Jazz's modeling. She hasn't been offered the call yet, but this part in the episode is
This
where
is
we
a
start to see
precursor.
her talking about her career. And when they introduced her on the show, they did talk about her career. Isn't she the one that got out in front of the car and did the spin?
And did the awkward spin where it was like, where the producers were like, hey, why don't we stop here and have you dance? It's like, what?
Yeah, that was her.
Yes.
So we knew she was a model, but she starts talking about, she's like, I want to do high fashion, and I want to do print, and I want to do editorial. Okay, first of all, you're a model. You do one of the three, or
Right.
maybe editorial and print, but you never really high fashion and editorial because they're complete opposites.
Right. It's
So
hard to do
first off,
both
right
print
there,
and high fashion.
girl doesn't know what she's talking about.
Right.
And she says she doesn't want Bad Girls Club to mess up her career.
Misrepresent her because she needs to balance her thuggery with her high fashion. I'm like, well, there is your problem sentence right there, girlfriend.
Right there. That is the epitome
if
of your
I
problem.
have a clothing company and I see her on the show and be like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I see her point, and I think all girls should think this before they go on Bad Girls Club. Think about your future, because people are going to watch it. But for modeling, does it really matter?
I mean, you could do like a bunch of car magazines from
But
Bad
no,
Girls Club.
seriously, I mean, look at Naomi Campbell. She's a complete bad girl, hitting people, stuff like that. I mean,
Yeah,
seriously,
that's
I'm
true.
asking an honest question. Does it matter for modeling if you
No,
are on
because
Bad
if
Girls
they
Club?
like the way you look, it's just, and especially in Hollywood, nobody cares.
Exactly. And Kate Moss, Cara Delevingne, really successful
They
models right
do
now.
not
They're
care.
like doing coke at night. Like, it
Right.
does not
Nobody
matter as
cares.
long as you can bring it in front of the camera.
I
So-
don't know. Did you think she could bring it?
No, but that's a whole other thing we
Okay,
will get
okay,
into.
okay,
But
okay.
she's sitting here showing Tiana her pictures. She's okay, right? You as a model, do you think she's good?
Yes.
Our voices are getting higher,
and I don't know. I know. I want to support. But she seems mid-level. Like she could do a lot of print modeling,
Yes.
in my opinion. I don't know about high fashion. I don't know
No,
if
she
has
doesn't.
the
She
height
certainly doesn't have high
or look
fashion
for that, in my opinion.
No.
I don't think so.
And I'm not. Everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, you're just hating on Jazz."
Oh, no,
She's
no,
pretty."
she's
We're
pretty.
not hating on her. She is pretty, but to me,
Yeah.
she's like Instagram model.
Yeah. Or like the car shows, which is they pay. Whatever.
course.
Yes. That's gonna come off
yeah.
awful, and I know
I know,
it
we're
is,
like
but I'm really saying it nicely.
We sound like such bitches. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're looking at our old pictures, and she said that she was worried coming on the show if she'd be able to continue her modeling career.
Girl, you gonna be fine.
Yeah. And just like that, magic happens, a phone call, and she's offered to do a runway show.
I love how that just magically happens during the show.
Right?
That episode.
This woman calls her and says, do you want to do a bikini show? And she's like, yeah, let's do it. Meanwhile,
Go ahead.
our viewers, they don't care. They're thinking the exact same thing. Her gut is hanging out.
It was, and I just thought that was so ironic. She gets the modeling call, and I'm like, girl, you better get a crunch call real
She's
quick.
like, just the camera angle, and then her face is like
know.
breaking out.
And they knew too.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man.
Whatever.
They
She was
probably
just,
could have done a close up on that, but
Yeah, I thought they might do something a little interesting, but they didn't. But maybe it was just the camera angle, the way she was sitting. But then she even herself admits she needs to like work out a little.
yes, she did, and she was. But another thing with the editing when she was working out, did she get that call the day of?
Yeah.
And then
They said tonight, do you want to do it tonight?
And then she started because she was like, time for a change. I was
Toasting
like,
to my new life.
I was like, girl,
3
you got like
hours.
3 hours. Yeah, you better crunch now.
Yeah, I mean, I could see how it happens for the girls. I almost feel bad for them in a way because they have nothing to do but drink and eat. Girl,
Right.
you are going to gain weight. It's
Yeah.
as simple as that. So if anything, models, if you're thinking about going to Bad Girls Club, just don't because of that. Forget about your career possibilities being
Right.
tarnished. Don't go on it because you're just going to get
I mean, they have workout stuff there, but this crew doesn't seem to be utilizing any of that.
Yeah, I mean, one girl, there was a blonde girl on the show a few years back, and she worked out a lot. Like, she kept her body looking good, but whatever.
They tend to have bad bodies overall.
Yeah, but here's why I really like the girls on this show. None of them are, like, perfect, amazing bodies. I mean, Andrea kind of has a good body, but I think that she works out.
Oh, yes, she does work out. She has a good...
Yeah, but I mean, all the girls that come on Bad Girls Club, I love it. You never think for a second that their bodies don't look good because they are just working their bikinis and owning it, and they will wear whatever they want to wear. It's the girl who looks uncomfortable and kind of like hides that you're like, oh, she doesn't have a good body. I never know.
I know, I always admire their confidence, too. They're just...
walking around in thongs.
Let it hang out. Do it. Whatever.
Good for them. All right, so then we see Janelle and Andrea at the laundromat. Here's where we can kind of start to see that Andrea is getting a little bored. She didn't even mention it yet, but I noticed it. I'm sure you noticed it. Everybody noticed it. She's starting to get a little annoyed and bored with Janelle. And Janelle is totally oblivious. She's like, Andrea's sleeping in my bed every night. We're getting along so great. I know she'll have my back in 1 second. Girl, she hasn't stuck up for you once.
No.
Except for the hot sauce thing, which she was really only doing for her own entertainment.
And she was completely intoxicated.
I know.
When she did that. I mean, she could barely hold the orange juice up. And then I agreed with something Janelle said. I wrote it down. No one told Teresa to jump in that fight, you know, because they're all upset about Teresa going home. But Teresa is a grown woman, and on her own accord, she jumped in and tried to kick Janelle. Janelle wasn't like, hey, come fight me.
Yeah.
So I agree with her, and I wish they had a pathway of intelligence to understand that part, except for just seeing that Teresa got sent home. It's like she made a choice to try to kick Janelle's eyeball out.
I don't know. At this point, the girl's still talking about Janelle sending Teresa home. It's just irritating to me because, like, how can you be that stupid to think Janelle sent her home?
And they're like, get over it to Shanae about some of this. I'm like, y'all get over it. How long has it been? Teresa's gone. Let's move on.
Tiana's like, it's my dying last wish. I promised on her deathbed to stick up for Teresa. It's like, you're not going to remember her in 2 months.
No, she's not. She really isn't.
None of these girls ever stay friends.
No, not for real.
But so Janelle is like oblivious to the fact that Aundrea will actually ever stick up for her because she hasn't ever. But she's like, it'll be 4 fists in the room next fight.
It's like, oh, Janelle.
No, poor Janelle. But then we're thinking Aundrea should be careful because she's the one that's going to be left alone. Like Gigi brought it up, or Stephanie. They said, you know, if Janelle gets sent home, which she will, she's going to be left alone.
Well, it looks like she's okay now.
Yeah, she's got a good point. But now we're just like starting to see this in the episode. Then we get the baby monitor.
Baby monitors are back.
And who introduces the baby monitor on air? Gigi, the one who it was originally supposed to be used for.
So crazy. And now she's in the group. She really is in there.
Yeah, I mean, the bullying for Gigi it wasn't even, you couldn't even really call it bullying. It was just like for sheer entertainment.
It was literally
lasted like a night.
Yeah.
But they get the baby monitor. I'm super excited about it. We didn't even...
Nothing happened. They didn't show... Did you see that? They didn't show that.
They didn't show what they promised to show us last week.
Yeah, they had Janelle and Andrea talking, but there was no shot of the baby monitors being listened to. They just kind of glazed over that.
They did, but they weren't talking about the important part where Janelle's like, I just want to look pretty.
Yeah, they showed that, but they didn't incorporate the baby monitor into that scene. They just showed that scene and they all went out.
That's their tricky editing last week to get us to watch, because that was the only reason I wanted to watch this week, and it didn't even happen.
Nothing even happened with that. They were all bored with the baby monitor, which I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, no, they're talking about the weather.
They're not even talking, because they don't care. They're like going on with their lives.
I know. It's raining outside.
Exactly.
Jazz says she said she was going to go down there, and when they're setting up the baby monitor, she's like, I'm going to go down there and, talk to them so they don't come upstairs. And this is where I thought the editing is messed up. We already saw Jazz downstairs at the very beginning of the episode talking to Andrea like they're friends. And then when she's going to go down there to, keep them occupied, Gigi's like, no, she knows you hate her. It'll be obvious. So I think the editing there was like swapped around.
Yeah, of course. They always like put scenes in different places and everybody gets confused.
Annoying. Then they're, like we said, just listening on the baby monitor. It's so boring. They're talking about literally the weather.
And you know what was funny? Gigi was like, we're going to see what they're really about, blah, 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 with the thing, and getting all like crunk. But it's like, y'all don't, I mean, if they were talking about them, would they expect anything else? Like, they're going to see who these girls really are. Y'all don't like them, and you've made it known. So if they were talking about you, why would you be surprised?
I know. Well, I don't think it's that they're going to be surprised, but they were like using it as their opportunity to like bust in there, like beat the girls up, like whatever. When the shot of the four of them in the confessional, like howling like wolves, and I was so annoyed by that because they're just setting these girls up for another fight and like another mean girl opportunity, another bullying opportunity. Of course, if you put a baby monitor in a room at Bad Girls Club, you're gonna hear shit talked.
Of course, and then they all look kind of silly.
I know.
With the wolf pack. It's like, come on.
They look. I hated that part. It
was
just
kind of
annoyed
lame.
me. All right, then we get into Shanae. The girls are starting to get annoyed with Shanae because Shanae is sitting there talking all this crap about Andrea and Jazz, and they're just like, say it to her face.
Yeah.
And they only barely bring it up here in the episode, but they do bring it up, and they start to. Their initial problems with Shanae is that Shanae's talking shit and not backing it up. Do you think that that's what's happening?
She put herself on the radar. Now, when they do these scenes with the editing where there's one person talking about it and they show everyone's expressions, I never really know what's going on with that, because you can make a scene look however you want to. Somebody else could have said something and Shanae was going off of that, but the way they made it look and then with other scenes in the episode, Shanae put herself on the radar. And I think she just got too comfortable too quickly, you know?
Yeah, moved in. I mean, all the girls are kind of talking crap, but if you're the only one if you're like the last one talking or the one that's getting so worked up about it, all the other girls are going to be like...
And she's not going up to anyone saying anything.
No, that's what's annoying. And that's, as a viewer, that's what always annoys me. I'm like, I hate how you never do anything. Do something about it.
Do something about it, yeah.
Like...
If it's bothering you that much and you're talking about it all the time, then just go beat somebody up.
Yeah, and if it's bothering us as viewers, imagine how the girls in the house feel.
Because they're like, dude, we're over it.
Yeah. All right. Now we get to the fashion show. And Jazz goes in and warns the girls. She's like, let's not act crazy. Let's not party. Let's not fight. I shouldn't say not party, but she's like, I don't want you guys to act crazy. I don't want you drinking. Like, basically what you do every night, now you want to be on show and get on to all the other girls for, you know.
This is business respect. I was like, this is so lame.
It's
like, I don't want y'all to embarrass me tonight. Excuse me? Y'all, they're not provoking anyone. You guys are the ones, you know, provoking them every single time. That was weird to me.
Basically, she's like, I don't want you to act how I act every single night when I go to the club. Like, how hypocritical. I
didn't like that. I wrote that. I didn't like that.
Yeah, I didn't like it at all. I can understand her point where she's like, it's a big night for me. Don't do something stupid. But hello, everybody is already going to know you're in the Bad Girls Club. They probably introduced her as much on stage.
Of course they did.
Everybody knows you're filming it. Like,
and if a fight broke out, probably no one would be surprised.
No one would be surprised. People were probably waiting for it. Like, oh, Bad Girls Club is filming here tonight? I'm going to be there because somebody's going to be on stage and rip a bikini top off or something.
Exactly.
Like, Jazz, it is not that serious. This is not a big career move for you.
And the owner of the bikini's like, please, somebody to just keep the shot on my bikini.
In the club, the Barbies are dancing. They're like, we don't really care what Jazz has to say. We're going to do whatever we want. It was uneventful anyway.
It really was. And Janelle left early.
Yeah, Janelle left early. But let's talk about the runway show. I wish Jesse was here because we do Real Housewives of Atlanta together, but you'll probably know. Were you getting the Kenya Moore vibe? Because I thought she looked just like Kenya Moore.
Yes, she does. That's a good call. She does. What is it?
Miss America.
Miss America.
Fan snap.
Gone with the Wind.
Gone with the Wind. Fabulous.
I love Kenya. I love her.
Yeah, me too. I totally love her. And I was definitely getting the Kenya vibe.
Yes, that's a good point.
But
yes.
I got a lot of hate on Real Housewives of Atlanta because I thought Kenya was pretty. And everybody was like, oh, you're so crazy.
I love Kenya. And she is amazing for that show. Are you kidding me?
But I mean, she's pretty. And so Jazz looked like her.
She's a model. That's what she did for a living.
Right. And Jazz looked like her on stage. So I think Jazz looked pretty.
Yeah.
But what are your thoughts, Jazz, compared to the other girls? Because I have my thoughts.
As far as what?
The runway show. How did you think Jazz stacked up to all the other girls?
Oh, I mean, they all looked pretty basic, and she was right in there. I mean, nobody was like, oh my God, beautiful. I thought she looked
Well, nobody was, oh my God, beautiful, because it's a club in Miami at 2 o'clock in the morning modeling swimwear. All the real models are asleep waiting for their 5 a.m. wake-up call.
Dang, Stephanie.
But what I will say is, again, I'm not like purposely trying to hate on Jazz, but I'm just pointing out the obvious, I do think all the other girls were very swimwear girls. They had big boobs, which was what you want for swimwear. I don't have big boobs. I'm not like trying to hate on girls that have small boobs, but for swimwear, you want to see like...
Yeah, you want to see the cup filled.
And the girls looked very like serious about their career. They were, you know, walking. It looked like showcasing a swimwear fashion show. Jazz gets up there and it kind of looked like she's like feeding into the crowd, like it looked like they had plucked her from the audience, like, oh shit, we need one more girl, we'll pay you $200 to get up here and do it.
But another girl did that too, and one of the other models, she blew kisses to the crowd and was all like flirty and whatever. So, and plus, I mean, they don't expect her, I don't think, to be super profesh because...
yeah, exactly. I mean, I thought it was supposed to be about the swimwear like fashion show, and she looked like...
Because honestly, to keep it 100, if she was like working, she probably wouldn't be on the Bad Girls Club.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Keep it 100. All right, we have a caller. What's your name and who are you from? What's your name and who are you from? What's your name and where are you from?
It's Elijah from Brooklyn.
Hey, Elijah. What's going on?
Hey.
All right.
Y'all know me by now.
We know you. We might as well just call you like...
Yeah, you should just
the
come on the
bad.
show.
No, he might as well just be another bad girl with all the fights he's getting into over his comments on the show.
Oh, what's going on?
Everybody's got something to say about Elijah. So tell us what you thought about this week.
Oh, my God. The best episode yet. Oh, my God. I cannot wait until they jump Shanae. I do not like jumping. I do not condone jumping, but...
But you can't wait till they jump Shanae.
I cannot wait. Like, ooh, it's just like, oh, my God. I just cannot wait.
I mean, we feel the same way. I mean, I know that you don't like Shanae, and we don't either, so we totally feel you. I'm glad. I like this episode, too, for that very reason.
It's just like they basically kicked out Mylan and Sarah for another Mylan and Sarah. Like, Janelle gets hated by everybody because, I mean, just like Sarah, and Shanae is not even worthy of being called a Mylan because Shanae is just like phony. Like,
she is.
She's just phony. She's very phony.
What do you think about her phone thugging? You want to start phone thugging?
Real. Oh, she lost me at the turn up is real.
Oh my God, yeah. When I'm so done with that word after this.
Thank you. Thank you.
I heard turn up too many times.
Too many times.
And if they play King's Cross or whatever that game is one more time.
King's Cup.
Like, I see them play that game almost every episode.
Yeah, they do play that game a lot.
Yeah. And Gigi introduced it. She's like, we're going to play this game called King's Cup. It's my favorite game. Like, girl, please.
Yeah.
So what did you think about, actually, during the game, they brought out Janelle, and at first it seemed like they were kind of making fun of her, but she's like, whatever, this guy clearly likes me because he did, and she comes out and plays, and then even Aundrea comes out to play. What did you think about all that? Totally fake?
Like, I can say that. I can say that this season that I respect each and every girl on this season.
Oh.
Like, so far, like the originals.
Yeah.
Like, I can say, like, so far, Mimi, like, I can respect her in certain ways because, like, she told them what she was doing, but nobody, like, was dumb. And nobody was, like, everybody was playing dumb. I can respect Sarah because she stood up for herself.
What about Andrea and Janelle? Like, do you think that they should be accepted by now in the house?
No, I mean, like, I understand why Aundrea can be accepted, but, like, Janelle, like, she dug her own grave.
What
like,
did she do?
Like,
Elijah, what
did you think she did besides flip her hair?
I've been, like, rewatching the episodes, and now I feel like, let somebody say, well, if you're 30 inches in the way, no. Your hair is too long, and that was very rude of her to say that. And for
on her first night.
Oh, I'll think about it tomorrow. Like, I can see where JazMone could be, like, is she serious? Like, I'm seeing now, like, why nobody liked her, because her attitude was just stink. Like, I see that now, and I'm just like, yeah, I see it now. And I see, like, editing really, really badly.
Yeah.
Because they, the part where, like, Aundrea never said that, white Barbie, black Barbie, blah, blah. She didn't say that to Janelle in the phone room. Like, different tone of voice, way different tone of voice. You can already tell that she didn't say that there. But I also noticed, like, in that episode when, like, I think Janelle, like, they first, like, didn't like Janelle. And it was before, it was before Gigi and Janelle fought. But they placed part of where Shanae was kissing with Jordan and that whole club scene in that episode.
Yeah, the editing's always, we can all agree on that. Yeah. Editing sucks. But what do you think about next week when they're going to kick Janelle out? I don't know. They've said this like 1,000 times. Apparently, they're really going to do it. And Jazz, like, picks her up and puts her outside of the house. It's
such, I literally feel bad for her.
I do, too.
I'm Team Janelle. I'm so Team Janelle, but it's just like, she got beat up, like, oh, no, Janelle, I like you. No, please, no. Yeah. This reminds me of, like, Rima versus Erica. Like,
yes. Rima.
I was like, yes, Rima, beat her ass. It's about time. Snatch her back ass.
I know, right?
And then the fight happened. You're like, damn, Rima got snatched up. Oh, she got hurt. Like, I feel bad that she's going to get sent back to Houston, like, hurt. Like,
yeah, I mean, but at the same time, I can't wait to watch.
I can't wait to watch either.
So, Eli, tell us, I mean, I don't think you're back on Twitter, but where anybody can follow you, or should we just look for you in the comments
I'm
on
iTunes? Twitter. It's at FVCK-Eli.
Okay, all right, cool. And, of course, you could leave your comments for Elijah at the bottom of the video.
Course.
Thanks, Elijah, for calling in.
Please leave your commentary.
Thanks, Elijah. All right, thanks, Elijah. And
okay, bye.
Bye. And everybody at home, please look us up on iTunes, look up our show, get it higher rated, and leave us comments. Let us know what you're thinking. You could talk about Elijah. You could talk about any of us. You could talk about Siobhan and Jesse being bitches and not being here. Just please look us up on iTunes, get us up there, on the higher rated shows, and let us know your thoughts on all the episodes. And also, while you're at it, check out Serial Buddies. It's a movie done by our creators here at AfterBuzz, Maria Menounos and Kevin Undergaro. All-star cast. It's amazing, really funny, so check that out also. Back to the episode. So the swimwear show, meh. All right.
Please, move on.
Janelle left, and Andrea all of a sudden is like, bam, game on. Time to get in with these girls. Apology Central, apologizing to everyone. She apologized to Jazz, then T. What did you think about that? I'm always up for an apology. I'm always up for when a girl apologizes, if it's sincere, but I think that they usually are. I don't really ever...
Well, sometimes they aren't. Remember Shannon, her apologies with Shanrock, her apologies were never genuine. She would always apologize and go in the confessional and be like, those bitches, I'm gonna fucking whatever.
That's funny. Do you think that Andrea's was...
Yeah, I believe hers were. I think because she got so bored with Janelle.
She's desperate to party.
And
so
she was like, these girls party, so I'm going to apologize because I want to party, and Janelle doesn't. So it was very basic for her.
Like, she's basic. She's really like, I really am sorry because I want to have
fun. And Janelle left early and she's sleeping. So I'm sorry.
And I can't blame the girl at all because she's like, it is not my battle to fight with this.
Right.
Like, I don't care that much.
I'm happy they accepted because I figured maybe they wouldn't have accepted and been kind of nasty about it.
I'm very surprised too.
That they were like, yeah, we're over it, whatever.
Yep, they totally were. But I think in the back of their minds, let's get real, it's all conniving. And they're like, oh, okay, she wants to be on our team now. One less again with Janelle. Done.
Right.
But at the other time, I do think that they like her now because she's such a freak show. She is a fun friend you want to have because you're secretly thankful. I'm glad I'm not her, but she's fun to watch and be around, and she's entertaining, and that's what you want in a friend.
Yeah.
So I could totally see that they're good. But Shanae's all pissed and like crying and whatever.
And
she's
on the
like,
curb.
Yeah, she's like, is this when she? No, this is when she went on the curb. But this is when she starts to get annoyed.
Oh, right. When they're at dinner. No, that was when she's at dinner, right?
No, this is still at the club.
Right, you're right.
And she's like, what is Andrea, everyone's BFF now? It's like, no, she's not their BFF. She's more like their circus clown, but whatever. They're having fun. And the very next morning, Aundrea's like, all right, girls' night last night. I'm going to get in here and start cleaning up my bed because I want to start sleeping alone.
Exactly.
I'm done with you, Janelle.
And she does it in the morning while Janelle is sleeping.
But here's why I love Janelle. Like, she's so sweet and cute. Like, so many times I look at Janelle and I'm like, aw, she didn't get mad that the girl was vacuuming. She was just like, why isn't she picking up the mattress and just dumping it
on the floor. I know, and she didn't say anything. She just kind of left it alone.
Like, I think
okay.
Janelle's pretty sweet. She's cute.
Yeah.
And here we go. Now we hear the girls go to lunch. And this is when Shanae...
Oh, yes.
This is when Shanae is making fun of Andrea's face. And she's just like talking shit about Andrea the whole lunch.
Yes.
And she keeps making that face, which is so annoying with the little teeth. And she just like annoys.
Her little, I know.
She annoys the crap out of me.
Yes.
And the girls are being really quiet because the girls are like over it. After the night before, they're just like... If you're at lunch with all your friends and you're the only one talking shit, don't you get the hint like, okay, everybody else isn't feeling this? No? Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
she just keeps on talking.
yeah. But nothing really happens there. Shanae's like still oblivious to the fact. But then when they're playing King's Cup, when the guys come over.
Oh, yes, when her rowdy friends come over and she gets, in her mild defense, very mild, I will say, when your friends come over and you're in a home and you're with all those girls and you can't leave, you probably go a little extra.
She was excited.
She was excited. That's mild, Shanae. Very mild. I'm not defending you. But yeah, her friends came over and then she just got crazy and did her phone thugging.
Okay, you were like seriously annoyed by this.
Yes.
I mean, I thought it was hilarious, but
I wanted to like turn it off because if I, like Elijah said, if I hear turn up one more time, it just seems so fake. The turn up is real. This bitch Shanae. When people do all that, like all that hooping and hollering, it's so ridiculous to me, and it's so fake, and it's just like a big facade for nothing. Because she wasn't saying anything to Janelle.
Yeah. I know.
Like, this bitch is going home. I'm a real bitch. The real Nay. It's like, ugh. So
and the door's shut.
I mean,
but it's like glass, so she knows everyone can watch her. She was like putting on a show. Like
the turn up is not real, Shanae. I'm sorry to break it to you.
And this is when we start to see Tiana get a little mad when she's on the phone. Tiana's like, she's annoying me because she's not doing anything.
And it's true because it's like if you like we said earlier, if you're that annoyed, then go say something. Just quit talking about it. It's like, well then, okay, bye.
And then they start playing Truth or Dare, and they pull Janelle out, and Janelle was a good sport.
I thought they were gonna fight.
I thought, yeah.
For 1 second, I thought they were gonna fight. Yeah. You wake me up, some dude's trying to kiss me. I was like, what?
Well, I think it's because the guy was like kind of hot, and he like went in for more than just the kiss. So Janelle was like,
okay,
I'm
up. That's
and
cool.
They were like all lovey-dovey, loved up all night. They were cute.
Yeah. I was happy for her.
Yeah,
I'm glad they like played around with her a little bit.
Andrea came out too. I was a little surprised, but then again, it's Andrea, so she's gonna come out and party.
And wouldn't that in Bad Girl history be called flip-flopping? Because then Janelle's cool, and then they're not.
Yep.
Then they're cool. Then
well,
they're not.
Gigi said she's like, just so you know.
But then why even call her out there then?
Well, they didn't really call her out. They were going to send the guy in to kiss her because they were like messing with her. They were like effing with her, you know.
Okay.
She was on the bad end of a dare.
But they still were chilling with her.
Yeah, they totally were because she was holding her own. Good for you, Janelle. Holding your own. And then we see they made it way more of a big deal in the previews. But Tiana and the dude, he touches her butt a little.
Nothing even happened. You know why? Because this episode wasn't that insane. So the baby monitors and the thing with the butt, and they had to make it a little bit bigger, I think.
Yeah, there was no fight on this episode, so they had to make it look like she was going to fight the guy when she pushed him.
She's like, I'll violate you. I'll violate. I was like, okay, Tiana.
But she's like calling him by his name, so it's like still kind of, you could tell she's not that serious because she's like, Rodney, like...
Yeah, I think they hyped it up a little bit.
Yeah, they definitely hyped it up. But what I noticed watching this little part is that she's sitting on the guy's lap, kind of, and Janelle's sitting on the other guy's lap, and the guy pissed her off by calling her a bitch, and she's like, I'm not a bitch, I'm real, and he's like, no, Janelle's real.
Yeah.
He went back and called Janelle real, and you could see T's face, like, again, I think she's jealous. Yeah. I think she's jealous. And so I think that put her in a bad mood. So when the same guy that just did that to her touched her butt, she freaked out.
Exactly.
Whatever. Then they're annoyed that Shanae went to sleep. I could go both ways because you're drinking and all you want to do is go to bed.
Yeah. I mean, I think they were already annoyed with Shanae.
Yeah, they were annoyed with her.
So anything that she did at that point was going to be blown out of proportion.
And they're also like, she should have told her guest, okay, it's time to leave. When you're drunk, you are not thinking about that.
You're telling yourself you got to leave.
Exactly.
That's the only person you care about telling to leave.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And if everyone's having a fun time, what are you going to shut down the party? Like be the party pooper? No.
And if she would have done that, they would have complained about that. 100%.
I was just about to say, after the fact, they would have been mad about that.
Like, you're going to go to bed and we're having a good time.
You're so right, girl. You are so right. But Jazz makes a really funny comment. She goes, last night showed me how much of a buster Shanae Shanae
I know. I love that she called her a buster. I'm like, no one said that in a long time.
What does she mean by that? Like,
Buster.
seriously, can you explain it to me? Because
Just like that she's whack, and that usually a bust is somebody like nobody wants to hang out with at all, and they do some ratchet stuff, like Shanae.
so Shanae's Buster.
Yeah,
Got
she
it.
is. I love you. She's a buster.
And then they go horseback riding, lamest thing ever. Don't even want to talk about it. But after that, they go to the burger and beer joint. Gigi, again, like the announcer, she's like, we're just going to go to the burger and beer joint and get some drinks and, burgers and stuff.
Burgers and drinks and stuff like that.
Thanks, Gigi.
Right.
So they go and they're like, let's have a drink. Let's have a drink. Andrea, Andrea, have a drink, And again, she starts having fun, making it a fun
Where
lunch.
was Janelle? Was she there? She was there, right?
Yeah, but I don't think anybody's paying attention.
Yeah, okay.
But now Shanae goes outside. This is when she goes outside.
Yeah, and does the whole dramatic thing, and she doesn't want her shots. And Stephanie's like, look, I asked you, I'm not going to ask you a bunch of times. And then they're like, done.
Yeah, I love Stephanie for this. She's like, I'm going to ask you once.
Yeah, I'm not your babysitter. Like,
Yeah.
if you don't want to tell me. And I think that right there shows who Shanae is, because it's like that's her still not saying anything.
Exactly. This would be the prime opportunity to be like, why are you guys
Y'all
hanging
aren't
out with that
keeping
chick?
it real. But then she doesn't want to be isolated from the group, and I think she realizes if she says something at that point, then there's going to be a problem.
She's a baby. She just wants them to come out and coddle over her and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I did that in like 7th grade. Like, oh, you're not hanging out with me. I'm going to go sit outside so you can ask me what's wrong.
I like when Janelle goes, I'm going to get my fruit snack and my lemonade and my popcorn, and I'm going to watch the show.
I'm going to watch this out. But Shanae's saying, I don't get it, Fab Four. I thought I was friends with these girls. Why are you not friends with them now? What are they doing that's not friends with you? I'm confused.
It's like you and Andrea weren't these one-on-one enemies, and then they switched. That didn't happen. But
yeah, she's like, I thought I knew these girls. I thought I was friends with them.
Yeah, it's like, what are you talking about?
I don't
Nobody
know.
said anything
She's
about you not
delusional.
being friends with them.
She's like the creepy BFF that, like, if you get another friend, freaks out. But it's times 4.
Yeah. That's her.
Yeah.
That's her for sure.
Annoying. And then she's crying on the phone to her mom.
Yeah, she's been down, and now she feels some type of way. Oh, God. You guys, turn up and feel some type of way. That's
Yeah,
like
she's
the
like, I feel T started. I feel some type.
Yeah, you feel some type of way.
But yeah, Shanae's like, I don't know where I stand, crying. Like, girl, it is not that.
But
serious.
no one said anything about you not standing anywhere. I'm pretty sure you can still stand where you'd like.
I know.
At this point.
Yeah, and she's like, my guard's up now. For what? These
Yeah.
girls didn't betray you.
So I could stay till the end. Shanae, you're gonna go home too. I'm just
That'd be the day. And then this is where, just like you did in the beginning of the episode, Jazz, T, and Steph say she hasn't been here from day one. We don't care about her that much.
Exactly. And Jazz
it real.
says, get over it.
Yeah. And T says the title of the episode, she's public enemy number 2. And I was kind of surprised that they flat out came out and said it, but they're like, Janelle's public enemy number 1 and now Shanae's public enemy number 2.
And I was thinking Janelle was going to get knocked off the list.
Yeah,
Damn it.
no, they still have it up for her. She's still number 1. I still don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
All right.
I don't get it. And that's about it for this week. I kind of feel like we'll just get into it in predictions, but I kind of feel like I don't know if the Shanae thing is going to be brought up that much next week because it seems like they're back on to public enemy number 1, Janel. So let's get into predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
All right, what do you think about next week?
I am interested to see what Janelle did to provoke it this time.
Right?
I hope she did something.
We could hope.
that she wasn't just sitting there eating her fruit snack and they just decided it was time for her to go home. I really hope that's not what happened.
I feel like it's a boring Sunday morning, and they were like, let's do something. Let's get her out
I could
now.
not take people touching my stuff like that and throwing it in bags. That would not be good.
But Janelle, like, she has never freaked out before. I don't
Never.
really see her freaking out this time, except there is going to be a fight.
There is gonna be a fight.
There's going to be a fight. But if somebody picked me up and put me outside a door, I'd
You're
fight
going to
too.
fight. Yeah, you're going to fight. She's provoked every time. So.
Yeah. And I still, to this day, I really think T and Jazz are jealous of her, and that's why they want her out of the house.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody else feel me on this? Leave a comment if you do, because I still think they're jealous.
And leave a comment about Janelle's belly. P.S. Go ahead.
I think she's skinny. Drea doesn't think she's skinny.
not. She is skinny legs, but her midsection is not skinny. Whatever. It's the truth.
That was a lot to take in this episode. No fighting, but a lot of stuff happened.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching Girls Night.
Yes.
Girls Night. So we will see you next week. Same time, same place. And in the meantime, tweet us. We love hearing from you guys all week. All the juicy gossip and tea. I'm at Steph Bauer TV.
And I'm at Drea Renee _N.
And be sure to leave us comments, rate us on iTunes, comment us on iTunes, comment us on the YouTube videos, everything. We want to see it. And thank you guys so much for watching.
Thank you.
See you next week. Bye.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
But see you later, bitches. I was like, is that the right time?
Only do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.